Welcome back to the Stoic Quotient. Forgiveness epitomized by the Prophet Muhammad forgiving his enemies, or think of Jesus' interaction with a woman caught in adultery where he challenged her accusers to examine their hearts. These examples show how suspending judgment can open doors to compassion and transformation. The Stoic perspective adds another layer to this understanding by recognizing that people's faults often stem from ignorance rather than malice. Stoicism encourages a more patient and understanding approach to other shortcomings in our modern world, where social media often encourages quick judgments and public shaming. These ancient teachings remind us of the value of empathy and restraint. So what practical wisdom can we glean from these shared teachings on judging others? First, they encourage us to look inward before criticizing others and examining our faults and biases. Second, they remind us that we rarely fully understand someone else's situation or motivations. Third, they invite us to approach others with compassion and understanding, recognizing our shared human fallibility. Fourth, they suggest that if we must judge, we should do so with mercy and an eye toward improvement rather than condemnation. Consider the story of Nelson Mandela, who chose reconciliation over retribution after years of unjust imprisonment, or think of the countless everyday heroes who respond to prejudice with education and dialogue rather than anger and judgment. As we navigate our relationships and social interactions, may we carry this wisdom with us. Let it remind us to pause before jumping to conclusions, to seek understanding before criticism, and to approach others with the same compassion we hope to receive. In practicing restraint in our judgments, we foster better relationships and contribute to a more understanding and harmonious society. As we approach the culmination, Chapter 7, Contentment, of our journey through shared wisdom, we arrive at a concept that ties together many of the themes we've explored. Contentment, this state of inner peace and satisfaction, is a goal that Islam, Christianity, and Stoicism all address, albeit in different ways. Let's delve into how these three traditions approach finding contentment in life. We find this profound hadith in Islamic traditions: be content with what Allah has given you, and you will be the richest of people. This teaching reframes wealth not as material abundance, but as a state of mind rooted in gratitude and acceptance of divine providence. Christianity echoes this sentiment in the words of the Apostle Paul in his letter to the Philippians: I have learned to be content whatever the circumstances. Paul describes how he found contentment in both plenty and want, suggesting that true contentment transcends external conditions. The Stoic philosopher Epictetus offers this perspective: he is a wise man who does not grieve for the things which he has not, but rejoices for those which he has. This statement encapsulates the Stoic emphasis on focusing on what's within our control and finding joy in the present moment. Reflect on a time when you felt genuinely content. What were the circumstances? More importantly, what was your state of mind? These teachings all point to a profound truth: contentment is more about our internal state than our external circumstances. They suggest that true satisfaction comes not from having everything we want, but from wanting what we already have. But why do these diverse belief systems place such emphasis on contentment? Perhaps because they recognize that pursuing external sources of happiness often leads to disappointment and suffering. Encouraging contentment offers a path to peace and fulfillment that isn't dependent on changeable circumstances. Consider the story of Diogenes, the ancient Greek philosopher who lived in a barrel and owned only a cloak, a staff, and a bowl. When Alexander the Great asked what he could do for Diogenes, the philosopher requested that Alexander step aside as he was blocking the sunlight. The tale illustrates how contentment can lead to freedom. Even the wealthiest and most powerful might envy or think of the Buddhist concept of santos, or contentment, considered one of the 10 virtues necessary for enlightenment. This shows how the idea of contentment transcends even the three traditions we've been exploring, pointing to its universal importance. The Islamic practice of can, or contentment, is not about passive acceptance but active gratitude, and trust in divine wisdom. Similarly, the Christian concept of contentment is closely tied to faith and trust in God's provision. The Stoic perspective adds another layer to this understanding by focusing on what's within our control and accepting what isn't. Stoicism offers practical strategies for cultivating contentment in any circumstance in our modern world. Advertising constantly tells us we need more to be happy. These ancient teachings offer a radical alternative where social media can fuel envy and dissatisfaction. So what practical wisdom can we glean from these shared teachings on contentment? First, they encourage us to practice gratitude, regularly acknowledging and appreciating what we have. Second, they invite us to shift our focus from what we lack to what we possess materially and immaterially. Third, they remind us that contentment is a skill that can be cultivated through practice and mindset shifts. Fourth, they suggest that true wealth lies in our ability to find satisfaction regardless of external circumstances. Consider the story of José Alberto Pepe Mujica Cordano, the former president of Uruguay, known as the world's poorest president because he donated 90% of his salary to charity and lived on a small farm instead of in the presidential palace. His simple lifestyle and commitment to his values demonstrate how contentment can coexist with leadership and influence. Or think of the minimalism movement, which has gained traction recently. Advocates like Joshua Fields Milburn and Ryan Nicodemus have inspired many to find greater contentment by simplifying their lives and focusing on what truly matters to them. As we navigate a world that often equates success with acquisition and status, may we carry this wisdom with us. Let it remind us that contentment is not complacency, but a powerful state of a being that can fuel gratitude, generosity, and purposeful living. In cultivating contentment, we find greater peace and satisfaction in our lives and become beacons of alternative values. In an often materialistic world, we demonstrate that it's possible to live richly without being rich. Find joy in simplicity and be satisfied while striving for positive change. As we come to the end of our exploration, let's take a moment to reflect on the journey we've taken through the shared wisdom of Islam, Christianity, and Stoicism. From patience and perseverance through the power of actions over words to this final reflection on contentment, we've uncovered a wealth of insights that transcend individual belief systems. What common threads have you noticed throughout this journey? How might these insights shape your life approach, interactions, and search for meaning and fulfillment? As we conclude, consider how you might integrate these timeless pearls of wisdom into your daily life, creating a personal philosophy that draws on the best of these rich traditions. As we reach the end of our journey through the shared wisdom of Islam, Christianity, time to step back and reflect on the tapestry we've woven together. Throughout this exploration, we've discovered surprising similarities and complementary insights across these three distinct traditions, each offering unique perspectives on life's most profound questions. We began with patience and perseverance, seeing how each tradition values endurance in facing life's challenges. We explore the importance of treating others well and finding a universal ethic of compassion and respect. We delved into perspectives on material possessions, uncovering shared insights about the nature of true wealth. Our journey took us through self-control and anger management, where we found common ground in the value of emotional regulation. We examined how these traditions approach adversity, each offering strategies for resilience and growth in difficult times. We explored the virtue of humility, discovering how it's revered across these belief systems as a path to wisdom and harmonious living. We saw the emphasis placed on actions over words, a reminder that our deeds speak louder than our declarations. The power of forgiveness emerged as a transformative force recognized by all three traditions. We contemplated the impermanence of worldly things, finding in this awareness a call to focus on what truly matters. The pursuit of knowledge was revealed as a lifelong journey valued by each belief system. We examined attitudes towards judging others, finding cautions against hasty criticism and calls for understanding. Finally, we explored the concept of contentment, discovering it as a state of mind cultivated, aided through gratitude and wise perspective. What strikes me most about this journey is the similarities and complementary nature of these teachings, where one tradition might emphasize one aspect, another adds depth or a slightly different perspective, creating a richer, more nuanced understanding. This exploration reminds us that wisdom knows no single source. It transcends cultural and religious boundaries, speaking to our shared human experience. Opening ourselves to diverse perspectives can enrich our worldview and find new ways to navigate life's challenges. But this journey isn't just about intellectual understanding. The real value lies in integrating these insights into our daily lives. How might the patience of Islam, the compassion of Christianity, and the self-discipline of Stoicism work together to help you face your next challenge? How could the shared emphasis on action inspire you to make a positive difference in your community? As we conclude, I invite you to reflect on what resonated most from this exploration. It could be a specific teaching that struck a chord, or the overall realization of how much common ground exists between these traditions. Remember, the goal isn't to adopt every teaching wholesale, but to find the wisdom that speaks to you and consider how it might enrich your life. Could the Islamic emphasis on gratitude help you find more joy in your daily life? Might the Christian focus on forgiveness heal a troubled relationship? Could the Stoic practice of focusing on what's within your control reduce your stress and increase your effectiveness? This shared wisdom offers a bridge of understanding in a world often divided by beliefs. It reminds us that despite our differences, we share common aspirations for peace, purpose, and connection. Recognizing this common ground opens doors to dialogue, empathy, and mutual respect. As you move forward from this exploration, carry with you the individual teachings and the spirit of open-minded inquiry that allowed us to find these connections. Remain curious about the world's wisdom traditions, always ready to learn and grow. Thank you for joining me on this journey of discovery. May the wisdom we've explored together inspire you, challenge you, and guide you towards a life of greater understanding, purpose, and contentment. As we close, I encourage you to continue this exploration alone. Dive deeper into the aspects that intrigue you most, share these insights with others, and engage in thoughtful discussions, and most importantly, find ways to apply this wisdom in your daily life, for it's in living these teachings that their actual value is revealed. Until next time, may you walk in wisdom, act with compassion, and find joy in the journey of growth and understanding.